Hi everybody, it's Jody here and welcome back to my channel, or hello for the very first time. I'm going to start off real quick by apologizing at the sound of my voice. My husband and I took my nephew for his 8th birthday down across the border to the States and took him to his first ever Major League Baseball game in Seattle. We had a blast, but anytime I travel, my voice goes, and especially when I'm at a sporting event where I do a lot of woo and yeah. So please disregard that. Today I thought we would talk about something that confused me a lot when I first started getting into makeup, and a subject that I tried to find a video on and couldn't. I could find a video on specific things, but not all of it together. So today I'm here to talk to you and explain to you what some of those weird little pesky symbols that look like hieroglyphic gibberish are on your cosmetic and any kind of beauty purchases. So first off, this one right here is one that gets talked about a lot here on YouTube. People have devoted entire videos. I am sure that a lot of you know what this means. This is the date of expiry once open. So once you open up that jar, that tube, for the very first time, how many months until it is no longer considered usable? You will see these 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. I think the highest one I've ever seen is about 36 months. But those you want to pay attention to if you're concerned about bacteria and things like that, especially when it comes to your liquid products. Now here's another one that you may see if you don't see the previous one. This one right here looks like an hourglass. This generally will be accompanied by a best before date. So it doesn't matter whether or not you've purchased it as a backup, you've opened it up and started using it as of yet. This is the date this bad boy expires. So definitely pay attention to those. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory. You guys have seen it on anything from paint to food to all kinds of stuff. This says that it is flammable. This does not mean that if you have it on your face and come near flames that you are going to spontaneously combust into a giant fireball of a human being. That's not what this means at all. It means that this product is flammable. Don't apply direct heat to it. Don't set it near your curling iron. It is flammable. Now there's a lot of recycling symbols on makeup, and a lot of them don't make a lot of sense. You guys have probably all seen this one since you are a wee little child. This is your general recycling symbol. The packaging is recyclable. I don't need to say anything else about it. Now the next one I want to tell you guys is about this one here. This one is the recycling symbol, but it has a weird number inside. If you don't know what the weird number inside is and you think it's important, it ain't important to you. Don't worry about it. This symbol, this number, actually tells them at the recycling plant exactly what kind of materials that it's made of, and then advises them how to proceed with the recycling. So different plastics will go in different piles for recycling, so it's not a number that we need to worry about. Now this green dot, this sucker right here is a recycling symbol that I did not know what it meant. I just thought it was a fancy new regular old recycling symbol. But that is not the case. This does not necessarily mean that this package is recyclable or that it is made of recycled materials, even though it looks like maybe that's what it means. What it actually means is that the company actually financially supports and puts money in towards the recycling of their products, both the merchandise that they sell and their leftover waste and such from the manufacturing facility itself. So this symbol actually means a lot more, but it does not necessarily mean that you can recycle it. And next, this little guy with the book open right here means that there is more information either underneath the plastic flap or within the packaging itself that they advise that you read before using the product. If you see that, I highly recommend that you take a glance through, because every now and then there is some information towards the application of the product letting you know that maybe it's not safe at all to be used near the eyes, etc. I highly recommend that if you see this symbol specifically, that you read what they tell you they provided you to read. Just saying, it's just general good idea. Now we have this fancy little lowercase e. Now this one I had to look up. I never really paid attention to it, didn't know what it meant, didn't really care, had to look up for it. This actually means that, not so much in Canada and the States, although we adopt it and do use it, it does mean that the average volume in each container does match the volume displayed on the outside of the container. So if it says that there's 1 ounce, this has been regulated and looked at, that within the general default air, that it is confirmed that that bottle does contain 1 ounce. If it doesn't actually have that E symbol on it, they could tell you whatever they want to as to how much is in it, and you can't really guarantee it. So that E symbol is fairly important for those of us who are conscientious about how much we're spending and how much product we're actually getting. Here's another one that this is not a regulatory symbol, this is not a government required symbol, this is a symbol that a lot of makeup brands will use on their own. You will see something either of the face or the eye, sometimes you can see the lips. I apologize, I couldn't find a picture of it online and I didn't have any leftover packaging that showed the lips. These are generally used, you'll see them a lot specifically on Kat Von D products, and you will see them on some other products. It indicates what area of your face that it is safe for. I recommend, as you know, one should, that you follow those guidelines if the faces are available to you. Here's where we get into some symbols that can be very important to people. Keep in mind that these symbols vary. There's a lot of different organizations that can certify something as vegan. These are some of the most common vegan symbols that I have found on products in Canada, specifically in the beauty range of things. Now, the big thing to know is that to get the vegan, you can be a vegan product without having the vegan symbol. To get the vegan symbol, it is an application process to most of the societies that do provide, or organizations that do provide, a vegan symbol on there. Generally, it is done on a per product basis. So you can have, say, a lipstick that comes back with the vegan symbol. However, your eyeshadow from your company doesn't necessarily have to have that vegan symbol on it. So this symbol is not representative of the company as a whole, but it is representative of that specific product. This is another thing that I found really, really interesting when researching the vegan symbol specifically, and the ones that I've shown you here, is that all of them are an initial review, but once you have that initial review done in place of the product itself, at that point you can keep the vegan symbol on that product forever. There is no real regulatory measures in that I could find or find any information on. I have not got a copy of those applications, so there may be a clause in there, but for the general consumer to look it up, I couldn't find anything beyond that initial review. Now we get into bunnies. Oh, bunnies. Bunnies on your makeup. Now we all know that a bunny means cruelty-free, but there's different bunnies from different groups that mean slightly different things. So this first little bunny abbot we have to see here. This sucker is issued specifically from PETA. So PETA is actually one of the least stringent of the bunny emblems that I could find, which completely surprised me. I was totally shocked. Basically what you do to get the PETA bunny specifically on your cosmetics product is you submit a statement saying that the company and its ingredients are not animal tested. That's it. There's no follow-up, there's no review, there's no investigation to follow up and see if that is actual fact. You just have to write a legal statement saying that it is so, and you can get the bunny put on there. The next bunny we are going to see right here, this little fluffy dude. Bunnies are so cute. This little bunny here is one that we see a lot in Canada. You'll probably see it a lot more in the US. This is from the Choose Cruelty-free Foundation. They state that there is no animal testing on the product and none of the ingredients included in that product to make it. This also, to get the bunny on there, it states that you have to, which I'm not really sure how strict they are on this, but it says that the parent company and subsidiary companies all have to abide by the cruelty-free rules. So there you have it. As far as I can tell here, I was unable to find anything after the initial request and investigation to prove the cruelty-free status, that there was any kind of follow-up after that. That also does not necessarily mean that it isn't cruelty-free. A company can be cruelty-free, however, its parent company or one of its subsidiary companies are not cruelty-free or fall under the Choose Cruelty-free guidelines, and therefore the bunny may or may not be there. So generally for me personally, when it comes to it, the bunny is a really nice indication. I will use that, but that doesn't mean that the company doesn't run entirely cruelty-free but doesn't have the bunny on it. So it's up to you to do the individual research on those companies or the specific products that you want to look at. Here is the last bunny. We don't see this one as often over here. This is really big as far as I am understanding it in Europe, in the UK, and also throughout Australia, New Zealand, those kinds of areas. This is Cruelty-free International. So Cruelty-free says that the company itself, the parent company, any subsidiary companies are all cruelty-free. That means no animal testing on the product itself or its ingredients. So the really cool thing about this symbol that I wish we would see more of it in North America, to be honest with you, is that not only is there an initial investigation to confirm those cruelty-free stats, there is also every 3 years a required independent assessment of not only the products themselves, the ingredients, but of the facilities where those products and those ingredients come from. It is serious. You want to get into cruelty-free, you want to know something is 100% cruelty-free across the board, this is your guy, this is your bunny, and I'd love to see more of it here. Alright guys, well that's it. That's the general overhaul of most of the symbols that you will see on cosmetics. If you guys have seen any more symbols that I may have missed, I try to be as thorough as possible, but I'm sure there's some out there that I may have missed. Please let me know. Please also note that there is a lot of picture symbols put on makeup that have nothing to do with any sort of government or societal or cruelty regulations whatsoever. So you guys sometimes will see a leaf where it says green products or a little tree where it says organic, that kind of thing. A lot of those symbols, 90% of those symbols are not regulated, not tested, and not substantiated. So definitely be sure if those symbols are something that you're looking for specifically on the products that you're buying, to make sure that they're vegan, to make sure they're organic, to make sure they're cruelty-free, that you do your research before you purchase. Otherwise, sadly, you may have buyer's remorse and you might feel a little bit duped. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, dilemmas, please let me know in the comments section down below. And otherwise, you all know the drillio. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you go. Do it. Hit it right now. I'll wait. Did you do it? I'm just joking. And as always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I will see you all next time.